Well, the hardest thing about being in the street was you had to always sleep with one eye open.
You didn't have a mirror, you didn't have your I had carried just a small bag, and I carried practically nothing in it but clothing. I didn't have a brush, and I would look for a place where can I go to wash up, to shower, or comb my hair, to shave, to change, just to change out of my clothing sometimes was like, what am I going to do, hide behind a tree and change my clothing?
The worst thing about having to sleep in the street was kids that threw me water, hot water, throwing things at me, garbage cans.
The worst part about being homeless, because there are times where I wanted to kill myself for being homeless, because I didn't want to be homeless, and I feel it wasn't a hope for me no more. Like I feel I didn't want to be in this world no more.
I originally up here from Chicago, and then I met a female, you know, as we tend to do, and we got together, and then things didn't work out in the long run. So I eventually had to leave her residence, and I ended up homeless. You know, I rode trains, sat in parks, lived out of garbage cans, everything just about. Being homeless is lonely because you have no friends, you cannot call on anyone or count on anyone.
I'm from the Bronx. I became homeless because my mother and father died. They had nobody to pay the rent. So I used to call the ambulance a lot because I wanted a bed to sleep on. I was smothered. Now we're taking showers every day, not doing nothing, or handling.
How long were you without a home for?
Well, wow, 9 years. I used to see the homeless on trains when I was a kid.
Did you ever see yourself coming in?
I never.
My family came from Italy, and my grandfather ran a number store, and they had killed my grandfather and shot my father in the back of the head, and my mother passed away at 46 years old. I've been on my own since. I lost a lot of people. Till today, I still have that problem where I'm getting close to someone and I lose them, so I tend to stay away from them now. I don't let nobody get close to me. I wound up using drugs for a while, and I stayed homeless. I had wound up sleeping at a train station, Yankee Stadium, right under the staircase of the 161st Street staircase of the stadium.
I grew up in a city town called New Rochelle, New York. I come from a pretty large family, and my family is very supportive of me. My mother, she's an LPN nurse. My mother raised me. My mother, she supported me the best way she knew how. But the only problem with me was I was on drugs. Never been homeless in my life. It's my first time, and it would be my last time. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take their word for it. And I went in here on my own. BronxWorks, the living room, got me in my apartment. I love my apartment. I love having the ability that I can cook for myself. I can do laundry for myself. I can wash my body up myself. It's just it's a blessing experience.
So at BronxWorks, we practice the Housing First model. The Housing First model is essentially the idea that you provide a street homeless person with a place to live even before they can solve any of their other life issues, with the understanding that, a lot of the other issues do get a lot better once a person has a stable place to live.
I think that once you get the person into a place where they feel like, okay, this is where I'm going to be, this is sort of a safe place, I can finally just like sleep, I can come in and out. You know, I feel like that really sort of takes a load off of folks.
It's really important to provide street homeless individuals with different options for, you know, taking the route to get to permanent housing, but we're able to offer them a number of different important resources like transitional shelter options such as a 24-hour drop-in center. We have safe haven beds, and we also have what we call stabilization beds where we rent rooms in the community for them. It's a lot easier to really work towards permanent housing, you know, once you're in a, you know, once you're indoors in a transitional shelter setting.
The biggest misconception is that people are, you know, essentially out there because they want to be out there because they're not doing enough. And I think that that's just not taking into account all the stuff that, you know, folks have been through and all the things that have happened to them to kind of lead them to this place. And it also sort of, it almost makes it sound like, you know, it's not something that could happen to anyone.
BronxWorks used to come and visit me during the night and take like an attendance to see if I'm okay and everything. And
they would ask me, did I want to come in? Did I, you know, when I signed up, you know, paper and.
I got tired of being in the street. I got tired. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take their word for it. And I went in here on my own.
And I went by there and they treated me with open arms.
We have a street outreach team that does, you know, basically the canvassing, right? And they're out there 24 hours a day, and their job is really to, you know, be the face that the person is, you know, first seeing, and the person that's going to kind of explain the services and build that relationship. And that's sort of the first step in the process.
We have to have a steady presence, you know, in the streets. And it's our job to really develop relationships with the people that live on the street so that, you know, they can eventually come to trust us that we're really out there to, you know, to help them and to help really get them on the road to permanent housing.
I went through some very bad times, but now I don't have to do that anymore. I was into catering. I want to do catering again, and I'm also a DJ. You know, I want to get back into things like that again, you know. Things I used to do in my former life that kept me grounded and I had fun doing.
I never had my own place before. Never in my life had my own place. At 37 years old, God blessed me with my own place.
I'm gonna try to hold on to what I have now and work with what I have, my doctors and BronxWorks, and because where I was and where I'm at now is much better. So maybe it can be even more.
I can get naked anytime I want, take a shower anytime I want, cook where I want to cook. Fantastic.
So what makes it fantastic?
I got a roof over my head. I don't have to suffer in the streets no more.